Hello and welcome. This is a quick tutorial on how to get started with XcooBee payments and your special AppSumo account. The overall journey is not really complicated, but it requires a few steps for us to walk through. I'll be there all the way. It has 4 components. We will first create our XcooBee account as we are coming from AppSumo. Then we will set up a payment processor, followed by our workflow in our projects, and then connect all to a mobile assistant or mobile terminal so that payments can be collected in the field. Let's get started. When you come over from AppSumo, you already have your AppSumo code pre-filled. The only things that are needed are your first name, last name, email, and the password of your choosing. We will pre-fill a business name for you. If that is not the right one, please make a change as you see fit. It should reflect most likely your business under which you're collecting payments. I will do that and we'll continue from there. Once everything is filled in, just hit registration. This will start creating your account, and we will send you an email verification. At this point, simply verify the email by clicking the link from the email that you have received, and we continue from there. Once you verify email, you should see a thank you notice here and that you are also verified. You are now ready to continue with the account setup by just simply logging in with the email and the password that you have chosen. Fill in the information and click on the login button. This will set up your system for first-time use. This may take a little longer than usual, but it will set up all the information that is needed, including many of the encryption keys that the system will use on your behalf. Once everything is ready, you should start with a welcome tour, which basically walks you through all the UI elements. So you can actually go to each of the steps and look at which elements describe each of the areas of the UI. And if you want to end the tour at any time, you can just hit the end tour area here. I'm going to do this. And if you end the tour, you'll see a security box like this that will give you basic security information for your consideration. I'm just going to click OK out of here. It will also make available a little question mark where you can retake the tour at any time that you wish. Should you need help at any time in the system, we have a help chat available to you where you can also contact support and have them resolve your issues and create tickets. We have completed step number 1, which was the registration to XcooBee and your basic information confirmation. Now we're going to go to our step 2, which is choosing a payment processor. A payment processor is required for XcooBee to handle the workflow for you without touching your bank account. All that is normally done inside the payment processor. We work with 3 different ones. I'm just going to click Setup from here on top, and it will bring us to our authorization flow. We work with Stripe, SafePay, or PayPal. Any one of them will work. We recommend that you consider using Stripe because it's the most flexible one, and it allows you also to use Apple Pay and Google Pay and a few other payment mechanisms that are highly convenient. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to click the sign up button here for us to see how that looks like. If you have an existing Stripe account, you can just sign in at this point and provide the authorization that way. If not, the account sign up is free. Just fill in the information here that is needed, and at the very bottom here there is an authorized access to this account. Once you click that, the account will be authorized. In the process, you may have to log into XcooBee again. Many times that is not necessary, but if you do see this, please just log in again. Once everything is completed with the payment processor, you should see a connected button at the same place where we started from. In our case, that's the Stripe connection. As you see, this is connected. I'm also going to go ahead and connect our Google account, which is needed and used in many different circumstances as well. So I'm just going to connect that as well. I start the process by clicking on the connect button here. And let me go ahead and complete this process. Once everything is completed, I should also see that this is a connected account. That's all I needed to do here, and we have actually completed our step 2. At any time to return to my dashboard, I can click on the XcooBee logo on the top left corner, which I'm going to do right now to work to the dashboard. I can close out my setup payment processes, and that is also done. Once on the dashboard, I can quickly see what my transactions were for the last 30 days, and as well as some graph and trend type of data that I can browse through. The quickest way to get started with any of the XcooBee elements is to add a new project, because project is the easiest way to organize work in XcooBee. And I'm going to go ahead and click Add New Project, which will start a wizard type interface for me. As you see, I can have actually many different work flows that I can complete this way, whether it's fundraising or whether it's events. I'm going to go ahead and just use a payment request, which is the way in XcooBee to handle simple payments and even more complex setups in little shops and larger shops. So I'm just going to hit next. And as you see, we will provide some general information, which I will do right now. With many areas where you do an entry for end users, you can also specify a language that XcooBee supports. So that way you can address most of the UI in the way that your end users are comfortable with if you wish to do so. I am done with my basic entry, and the next thing I'm going to do is just click on the next button here. We are going to choose Stripe as our payment processor because that's the one we've set up, and I'm just going to continue with the next button. As far as how much data we want to collect during the payment process, we're going to keep it minimized. We can also add more data elements like address if we wish to do so. If you're in the EU and have to worry about the GDPR, this is this area which governs your data use declaration. You can just make a check mark and declare what the use of the data is if you need to do so. I'm just going to go ahead and click next. The connectivity should already done for us based on the way we have set up the project. I can add a logo if I wish. If I need to do follow-on marketing through some sort of mail campaign, that is also available through us through MailChimp. The integration is there so that payment can easily connect to our marketing efforts as well. The options I'm going to leave as is for now and accept the defaults and continue from there. And the development, similarly, I'm going to just accept all the defaults. I can maybe specify where my company website is, but I'm just going to leave everything blank and hit next. So as you see many times, I'm just hitting next. The summary step is exactly what it's supposed to be. We summarize all the information that we've entered, and if I wanted to change something, I can click on this icon here on the corner and return to it. We have actually defined the workflow that we will use for our payments, and I'm just going to click on Activate Project to be able for us to collect payments for this workflow and project. This will go through a few different steps, distributing the information to our content delivery network so your users have a very fast, reliable experiences when they interact with us. Once your project is activated, it is ready for use and can process payments on your behalf. We really have completed step number 3 in our journey. I'm going to go into a little more detail now in terms of its use of XcooBee components or tools here for your project. These are your project tools once your project is activated. This is our link generator. This is our QR generator. This is an embedded button generator where you can generate buttons to put into your websites. You can actually have full forms that you can place in your websites as well. We are going to mainly discuss URLs. Basically, if you wish to send somebody a payment request this way, where you need for them to pay maybe an amount to you, let's say $65 for mail services, this is all you need to generate using this tool, the URL generator, and you would just enter the details here, the amount here, and copy the generated URL. You can use that in your social media if you like for payment requests. You can use it in emails. You can use it in any type of a website where a link could lead to payment. So let's see what that would look like for us. I'm just going to copy this. And here's when I open the link in another browser, what the user would see. He would say, hey, you would like to get paid for mail service from obviously Gordon Green Business, which was my business name that I've chosen. I can pay with a credit card and click pay. Very simple for end users to handle. There's no distraction whatsoever. Going back to our initial form and looking at it from the perspective of QRs, as simple as clicking on our QR code generator. If I needed to have, let's say, a baked good, let's say a cake, and the cake price was $25 and $122 was tax. This is all I needed. I can download this QR code now and make it available anywhere on the menu, or maybe in some sort of a stand if I've taken it out into the field, and people can initiate payments from there in a contactless fashion quite easily. I'm going to go ahead and download this for me. I am done with step 3. As I said, I'm just going to go ahead and save and exit now after my download, and I will end up in the project center where I can look at all the projects that are available to me in one view. In this case, my Gordon Bakery payment project is active. If I wanted to generate a QR or URL or button, I can actually just use one of my action icons from the actions area. Here's my QR code, my link, and here, for example, is a button that I could just generate the code for if I wanted to with all the options. I'll take whatever is generated and paste it into my website HTML, and you should have automatically a payment button available for all of your customers. In our step number 4, we're actually going to take the project that we have just created that processes payment for us and make it mobile so that you can actually give it out to anyone that is connected to it in a safe way. They can then collect payments on your behalf and process it anywhere where they are in the field, whether it's in your restaurant or whether they're doing field services. Maybe they are doing some service work at a customer site. So that app that we will use there is called Register Assistant, and you can download it from your Google App Store or from your Apple App Store by going and searching for XcooBee. Please be aware that there are multiple applications, so the one that you want is called XcooBee Assistant, sorry, Register Assistant. I might refer to it as well sometimes as Terminal, and this is the one that we want. This is already installed on my system, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it. The first time I am opening the Register Assistant, it will ask me for campaign and form information. This is required for us to connect the project that we have done in step 3 to the terminal. It's very simple to do. You can actually scan any of the QR codes that was copied or downloaded, or you can use the information from your project, which is normally at the top left corner in your project. I will show that to you in a second. I'm going to go ahead and scan the code actually. So I'm going to press this little scan QR button and point it just simply at my screen where I had downloaded the information previously. That's all I needed to do for the configuration. The second step is basically confirming what currency I want and if I have a minimum to acknowledge that. And that's all I need to do. Normally the terminal app or the Register Assistant opens with this screen, which has big buttons, one called Auto Read, which is experimental, and Manual Entry, which we will use to make entries for payment in the field. So this is basically a quick and easy way. If I click on this, for example, and provide an amount of $25 and say I want that for a cake, I can charge $25 to whoever is in front of me, and there's the QR code that is being generated for me. They can scan and pay it. At the same time, if I wanted to send this payment request to somebody via text or email, I can do so as well. Clicking on web enables me to make the entry of the credit card that's right in front of me for whatever reason if the customer cannot scan it themselves or does not wish to do so. So this becomes a very flexible payment terminal to take and carry away with you anywhere, as well as give to anybody that needs to have it. We also have the ability for tip calculator, so that if somebody scans, a tip calculator is already available in their payment and can automatically calculate common tip percentages. Just to summarize, in the previous few minutes, what we've done is we've created a completely new XcooBee account. We have set up a payment processor, in our case Stripe. We created our primary workflow for payment processing, and by creating a payment request project, and we link that to mobile terminals that we can give out to anybody in the field or use ourselves. As you've seen, there's actually quite a bit of things that we haven't covered in our tutorial here, including many other types of projects, whether it's automatic memberships, if you have a club or a nonprofit that you are managing, fundraising, events. There's also many more ways of configuring retail elements and restaurant ordering. And of course, all of those can be made available in a contactless fashion, which increases the safety, especially nowadays in the pandemic scenarios. Payers can pay you without an app. There's no requirement for anybody when they engage with you using XcooBee to have an app or an account. So that which limits that would normally limit the usefulness. And we do not charge any type of terminal fees or any other extra charges on the use of terminals. So you can freely give that out to as many people that you need to work with in context of your business. The remote payments, as you've seen, was also available through emailing and texting that is built into the terminals. You can create links to send to anybody that you need to do business with as well. There are no platform fees in the AppSumo subscription that you are participating in. And so everything becomes fairly convenient and compact and is ready to go. Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to us on the AppSumo platform or through the XcooBee chat and support link in your screen in XcooBee. Thank you and have a great day.